Hi, Luke here with catsandcarp.com, and I'm going to tell you about one of my favorite pack bait ingredients, oatmeal. Oatmeal is super cheap and carp love it. It's great. You can go down to any supermarket, buy tons of the stuff for a few dollars, add lake water, add your favorite ingredient or hook bait like corn or boilies or tiger nuts, mix it all together, let the water soak into that instant oatmeal, and once it starts to get sticky in about 5 minutes after you've added the water, you can knead it into balls and then you can mold it around your hook or lead. Forms a wonderful pack bait. A real classic oatmeal based pack bait is simple. Instant oatmeal, vanilla extract, and corn. Mix it all together. It's a great bait for both channel catfish and carp. Caught some great catfish, caught some great carp on that bait. The great thing about pack baits is it allows you to chum just like you would with the PVA system without having to buy PVA bags or mess with PVA bags. Basically, you take a ball or a handful of pack bait and oatmeal and you mush it and mold it around the lead or the swivel or the hook, and then you have this ball of chum sitting loosely around your hook. And when you cast your hook out, it hits the water, that chum starts to break up, and there's your hook bait sitting in a nice big pile of oatmeal and scent and flavor. And carp comes along, sees that, hails it, eats it right up. Here in North America, there's 3 classic pack bait rigs when people are using oatmeal. The first is really simple. You just have your main line with a really small treble hook, like a number 6 or number 8 treble hook on the end. You take a small handful of oatmeal pack bait, you just mush it straight onto the hook. Sometimes you can even use those dough bait hooks that they sell for catfishing that have the little spring around the shank. That just gives the bait a little something extra to hold on to. But anyway, you just take that bare main line with the treble hook on the end, pack a ball of bait around the end, chuck it out there, you're good to go. Very simple. Another classic rig is the pay lake rig. The pay lake rig consists of a no-roll inline flat lead with a 3-way swivel underneath. And coming off of that 3-way swivel are 2 leaders, short leaders, with hooks on, single hooks on each leader. On each leader you put a puff, which is like a piece of corn that's been puffed like you would for cereal. And you hook a little puff onto each hook, and then you pack a ball of oatmeal-based pack bait around the swivel and lead with 1 puff inside the ball and 1 puff stuck to the outside of the ball. Chuck that out there and hold on. Really classic, common lake for carpers who like to fish at pay lakes. You go down to a pay lake, you'll see a lot of people with using some variation of that rig. The third way to use a pack bait is more of the European method. You use some sort of a specialized method lead. Okay, a method lead for method fishing is essentially a lead weight that has fins on it, and these can come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. But those fins give the bait something to hold on to. It makes it so your pack bait is more secure and more latched onto the lead. Then below the inline lead, you have a leader and then a hair rig. And you usually want a very short leader, like 3-4 inches. And after you pack a ball of bait around the method lead, you go and you stick your hook and hook bait to the top of that ball of bait and give a little squirt with some extra scent, you're good to go. The nice thing about the method leads are, one, that they hold the bait much more securely because of all those fins. So you can cast harder and further, and the bait's not going to fall off your lead as easily. Additionally, the method leads are designed to have a top and a bottom. Usually when they're asymmetrical with lead on the bottom. So when it hits the water, the ball of oatmeal turns right side up and hits the bottom with the top on the top and the bottom on the bottom. And this is important because you're taking your hook bait and sticking it to the top of the pack bait. When the carp comes along and sees that pile of chum there, you want your hook bait and your hook to be right on the top, so when they take that first bite, you get them right off the top. So method leads for method fishing, great tool for pack baits. I love them, keep always a few of them in my bag. Pay Lake rig's another great one. And then if you want to start real simple, old school, just a simple little treble hook, can go a long way. There's a couple ways to add a little extra kick to your pack bait, your oatmeal based pack bait. One is to add any number of carp liquid attractants. Dynamite Bait makes a lot of them. Rod Hutchinson makes a bunch of them. They're great. They add a little extra scent, flavor, and they can really be the difference between bites and no bites. Another thing you can do is throw a little extra chum out there. You can knead the pack bait into balls and either hand throw or use a slingshot to catapult the bait out to where you're fishing. This is good. You can get the carp used to eating your pack bait. You can kind of whoop them up into a frenzy with effective chumming. So two great ways to add a little extra kick to give yourself that little edge when you're using pack baits. Now the advantages of using oatmeal as a pack bait are pretty obvious. It's cheap, it's easy to find, and you don't have to chum much with it. You just pack a ball around your hook, chuck it out there, you're good to go. It's simple, it's easy, it's cheap. The carp love it. The downside of using oatmeal in a pack bait is that it isn't the greatest bait for fishing at long distances. When you try to cast a pack bait, often it'll rip off the hook. The force of the cast will tear it free, and you'll have a glob of pack bait go flying in a different direction than your hook. The less water you add, the better you can make the Well, let me finish telling you about oatmeal. First off, if you want to cast really far, it can be hard to do sometimes. When you cast hard, your bait can often tear off during the cast. You need to add very little water and let it sit longer and use smaller balls of bait if you're trying to get any sort of distance out of oatmeal in a pack bait. The other problem I find with oatmeal is it's not my favorite bait. It works, the carp like it, but if I had a choice, there's always baits that I think the carp like more. I think corn works a little bit better. I think boilies definitely work better. But oatmeal is cheap and it's convenient. So it's often a bait I choose because of logistics rather than trying to pick because I want the absolute best bait. But that being said, I'm sure there's a lot of people watching this who are just like, no, that's the best bait. So try it out in your local area. You may find that your carp like it a lot more than some of these other baits I recommend. Oatmeal's a great bait. You can add just about anything to it: liquid attractants, particle baits, corns, boilie chunks, tiger nuts, peanuts, anything you want you can throw in there. It's convenient, it packs on easy, and you don't need any PVA bags. Often you can get away without needing any special leads. And hundreds and thousands of Pay Lake carpers have caught tons of carp on it. So you know it's a good, classic, sturdy bait that works all over the place. All right? Anyway, thanks for watching, and hopefully this was helpful. Check out our other videos, including how to use sweet corn and feed corn as carp bait, and how to make PVA-friendly corn for using in a PVA system. Two great videos, and don't forget to subscribe to the Cats and Carp YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.